Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland, and this video is really my concern and my hopes and desires to have some slightly different reverbs in the Headrush that I have found to be lacking compared to other units that I've tried in the past year. Now, with that said, the stock reverbs that come in the Headrush are fine, but they don't have that really beautiful modulated ambient, silky smooth, dancing, shimmery type sounds that I found in other units. So in this setup right here, I have an effects loop block in the chain, as you can see. And within that chain is the Fender Tonemaster Pro. So what I have called up here on my different blocks is I have a Shimmer, a Nebula, a Celestial, a Cloud Reverb, and a Modulated Hall Reverb. So going back to my Shimmer here, this is what it sounds like. And I like that sound because the Shimmer or upper octaves is not very in your face as it is on the Headrush. And I'll give you an example of what that sounds like. So here's the Shimmer on the Headrush. It's just very bright, very pokey sounding. Now I can double tap on the screen and I can probably maybe bring the tone down. But then again, now it just sounds weird. I'm not a fan of that. Too much high end, too in your face. So in the past, I have essentially brought this down to where the mix is pretty low. Maybe something like that. And then I'll go to another reverb and I'll crank up the time, crank up the mix, in hopes to kind of wash it out a little bit. But it's still just kind of there, and I'm not a fan. So going back to the Shimmer reverb on the Tonemaster Pro. Now it still has a similar upper octave sound, but the reverb is way more prominent in the mix. And I just like that overall. Now we do have a reverb time here on the Headrush Shimmer. But same thing, that upper octave sound is just not my favorite. And there's really nothing that I found I can do to take that away. There's like a pre-delay kind of thing. But that just delays the inevitable of that pokey sound coming in, and I just don't like it. So going over to the Nebula here, let me double tap on the screen. I know you don't see that because I have camera just on one little thing here, but here's the Nebula. Now that has a very full shimmer type sound to where the decays of the shimmer is way longer and they have a lot more sustain and there's a lot more reverb helping to wash out the sound. So it's just a way smoother experience than the shimmer on the Headrush. So going to the Celestial, it's kind of the same thing. Let me make sure the spillover is turned on this sucker. And it is. So here we go. I don't know what it is. It just sounds really, really good. This does have two different pitch options. So sometimes it's cool to bring one pitch up and the other pitch slightly down. So you get this detuned kind of deal. I can turn the pitch decay down a little bit. And maybe once you found the sound you like, you can bring the mix of that down. Which I'm not liking the pitch being all detuned. Let's bring that back into closer to where it was before. Okay. So the Celestial sounds good. Here's the cloud reverb. So you can shorten that up easily. I mean, the decay is all the way up, so we can shorten that. Something like that. But still, it's just a very good sounding reverb. Now this last one is a modulated large hall. And there's a few other variations in here we could pull up, but this is a good one. And it's very similar to the other kind of hall reverbs that we have on the Headrush. So if I go in here and just choose a hall, let's see if we can match the sounds on here. So I'm going to turn on the air verb. Here's a large hall in the Fender. Okay, and then here it is on the Headrush. Now we can bring the mix of this up. Okay, going back to the Fender. Maybe I'll bring the mix of this down, or the master volume. Now this one has modulation on it, so you can really make it move and wiggle. So I'm not a total fan of. So in this case, I mean, the modulated reverb, it's not that big of a deal because I do like the natural reverbs in the Headrush. Let's just say we took that sound and then added another shimmer or an octave kind of sound on top of that. And I have been known to go in and maybe add a pitch. Let's do a chord wham, octave up. And bring the mix back. So that is a really good option, but you have to use 2 blocks for that. So I would really hope and wish for the near future that they do some more octave type stuff, but built into the really long decay reverbs, and make sure that they just have a nice, smooth, washed out ambient sound and something that has some cool modulation, just a lot of depth in the reverb. So once again, we'll go and turn on the effects loop and let's listen to the Nebula one more time. You hear how that just kind of swells in and then hangs? It's more of a choiry kind of organ type sound. Choiry is not a word, by the way. All right, so now let's turn on the cloud reverb and the celestial with the Nebula, and this is all 3 together. Okay, here's with the whammy turned on. Just a little bit better. Let me mix that up. So that's just a few examples of things I wish that the Headrush would incorporate more. The fractal reverbs have a lot of depth to them, lots of ambient style shimmery stuff. The Kemper had really good reverbs and ambient stuff. And apparently the Quad Cortex has a really good shimmer reverb that somebody on the forum just swore by. But with all that said, these are things that can be easily fixed. Just study the competition a little bit, do a little bit more work on adding these ambient shimmery type reverbs, and I think it would just add even more depth to what the Headrush already has. Now, let me go in real fast before we leave the video here. Let's just see what the Headrush actually has. So we have our air verb. That gives you a few different room type reverbs. Ambient, chamber. Now, ambient, don't let it fool you. I mean, it's a good sounding reverb, but there's not a lot of depth there. I mean, it's a really good sound, but it needs some more movement in there somehow. We also have the church reverb. Let's say we add in our chord wham. Maybe not have the delay on. I mean, it's closer, but it's just not quite there. We also have the 11 Verb, which has just tons and tons of different reverb types, but still no modulated type reverb. Okay, we do have a cathedral. Which really does have a beautiful long decay to it. Okay, and that's all well and good. Maybe we do one more. Here's the party verb, which to me, this is more like spacey type sounds versus actual like ambient stuff. I mean, that's not bad at all, but I would want to have some reverb on top of that, washing it out. Alright, so let's compare the party verb to the Nebula on the Fender Toadmaster Pro. It's definitely piercing. You can dampen the sound a little bit. I mean, everything is really defined by the presets. There's not a lot of control over how much high end you have or whatever else. Here's a slow drip. Now, that's a nice sound. I'm not gonna lie. But it's still not the same as some of these other verbs. And that is in ominous mode, so... And that's a cool sound. I mean, you can do stuff with that, I know. But I still like just the natural overall decay of like maybe this celestial reverb. And even the cloud verb I like a lot. Tap on that, maybe turn on the decay. I could really enjoy playing reverbs all night, but leave a comment down below if you found the reverbs on the Headrush lacking or if you think that's plenty and I'm just really overthinking this stuff. But after a year of trying all the other modelers, I can definitely say I do like the fractal verbs. Toadmaster Pro sounds great. The Kemper sounds great. And even the just run-of-the-mill air verb and 11 verb, they do sound good, but I really wish there's some more modulated ambient type stuff going on with the reverbs in the Headrush. So thanks guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe down below and click the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking.